A sharp slap echoed through the cramped cottage as Myra struck the wooden table. Seren, Elin, if one of you doesn't fetch water this moment, I swear I'll throw this empty jug at your heads. Elin flinched. Seren didn't. Seren tossed her hair back and scoffed. Why should I? Ask her, she said, pointing at her younger sister. Elin loves pretending to be the family servant. Elin hugged her arms tightly. Mother, I can go. It's fine. It should be you, Seren snapped. You're already halfway useless. Might as well make yourself useful. Enough talking and go, Myra barked. Elin picked up the heavy water jar. As she stepped outside, Seren yelled after her, Try not to fall into the well, though honestly it might improve things around here. Elin kept walking, biting back tears. She had learned that responding only made things worse. Still, Seren's words stung every time. She whispered to herself, Please just let today be quiet. A long sigh escaped her lips, and her feet moved faster along the forest path. The air thickened with the heat of late afternoon. Stones scraped her sandals, but she pushed forward. She always pushed forward. By the time she reached Silverwell, her face was flushed, her hands trembling slightly from the long walk. She set the jar down and leaned over the well to draw water. But the sound of a faint cough froze her. An old woman sat slumped against the stones, her fingers shaking. Child, please, just a little water. Elin rushed over. Of course. Are you all right? She filled the tin cup nearby and handed it to her. Drink slowly. The woman sipped, her eyes softening. You're kind. Not many stop for an old stranger. I couldn't just ignore you, Elin said. No one deserves to be left thirsty. The woman's lips curved into a knowing smile. And do you help others even when they wouldn't help you? Elin looked down. People are different. I can't control their hearts. Only mine. The woman let out a gentle laugh, too gentle for someone so frail. A precious answer. The wind shifted suddenly. Light shimmered around the old woman, swirling like floating dust motes. Elin gasped as the cloak fell away, and her small, fragile frame straightened into the glowing form of Enchantress Leandra. Elin stumbled back. I didn't know. You treated me with kindness without knowing, Leandra said. That's what makes it pure. Elin swallowed hard. I only did what anyone should. But not what everyone does, Leandra replied softly. So I gift you this. Every word you speak shall fall as jewels and flowers, reflecting the beauty of your heart. What? That's not necessary. Roses spilled from Elin's mouth mid-sentence, scattering across the forest floor. A small crystal rolled across her palm. She stared at them in disbelief. I don't understand. You will, Leandra said, and with a final shimmer of light, she vanished. Elin pressed trembling fingers to her lips. Her heart raced. This can't be real. She whispered her sister's name. More flowers fell. Fear and awe tangled inside her chest as she picked up the jar and hurried home. The moment she stepped inside, Seren snorted. About time. Did you fall asleep in the forest? Elin opened her mouth to apologize. Petals drifted gently from her lips. Seren blinked. What? What was that? Myra rushed forward. Elin, speak again. Elin began, but a handful of tiny rubies tumbled out. Myra dropped to her knees instantly, greed lighting her eyes. More, say more. Mother, please. Diamonds slid across the floorboards. Seren stepped back, jaw clenched with disgust. This isn't fair. This isn't fair. Why her? Elin shook her head. I don't want this. I just want peace. More gems fell. Seren turned away sharply. Mother, you can't let her hog all of it. Hog? Myra snapped. Elin doesn't deserve any of it, but the family does. We do. Especially you. She grabbed Elin's chin roughly. Speak again. Elin winced. Stop. Please stop. Sapphires rolled across the floor. Myra scooped them up frantically. Seren, get a basket. Quickly. Seren snatched the basket but paused, staring at Elin with narrowed eyes. No, I'm going myself. I'll get the blessing too. Whatever gave it to her will give it to me. Then go, Myra shouted. Go now. Seren stormed out. Elin exhaled shakily. Mother, this isn't right. You can't use... A harsh slap cut her off. Silence, and do not waste gemstones on useless complaints. Elin's eyes burned with tears, but she said nothing. Speaking had become a trap. Hours later, as Mara sorted the treasure like a starving creature hoarding food, Seren arrived at Silverwell. She found the same old woman waiting, sipping water slowly. Seren crossed her arms. I know what you did for my sister.
You must give me the same blessing you gave my sister.
The
I
old woman
demand
blinked.
it.
Child, I only asked for kindness. Well, you won't get that from me, Seren snapped. Give me the same blessing now. One can't demand what must be earned, the woman whispered. Seren scoffed. You're pathetic. If anyone deserves fancy magic, it's me. I'm stronger, smarter, better looking. A large toad plopped from her mouth. Seren shrieked. What? What is happening? A snake slid from her next scream. She gagged, but insects poured out with every breath. No, this can't be happening, Seren shouted, stumbling backward. Her hands flailed as more creatures emerged. The forest echoed with her terrified cries. Fix it now, she wailed. But the old woman remained silent, her calm gaze unwavering. Lyandra stepped forward, now fully visible in her radiant white and gold robes, her long black hair flowing like a river of night. Her eyes glimmered with stern wisdom. Blessings and curses are reflections of the heart. Yours has always been poisoned. The magic only mirrors your true nature. Seren collapsed to her knees, her screams echoing through the forest. Toads hopped around her, snakes coiled, and insects crawled across the mossy floor. Each creature seemed to mock her pride and cruelty. I'll be good. I swear. Please fix this. Please, she begged, tears streaming down her face. By the way, if you're enjoying this story so far, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps bring more stories like this to life. Now, back to the tale. Far away, Elin sat on her bed, the morning sun warming her face, oblivious to the chaos. She picked up her small sketchbook, doodling flowers and sparkling jewels, her hands trembling slightly. The realization that magic had begun reshaping lives, both good and bad, weighed on her heart. I didn't ask for this, but it's happening, she whispered. By midday, the village began noticing the unusual happenings. Villagers murmured among themselves about Seren's disappearance and the strange croaks and hisses emanating from the forest. Some whispered that Elin had been blessed by the spirits of the forest, while others suspected darker magic at work. Elin, meanwhile, stayed hidden, fearing the attention but also yearning to help wherever possible. Days passed, and Elin's magical words continued to produce flowers and jewels, though she now learned to control them, letting only small blooms and gems fall when speaking casually. She spent the mornings tending to Myra, who had grown obsessed with counting and storing the gems, and the afternoons walking through the village, bringing subtle joy wherever she went. Petals drifted silently behind her, catching sunlight in iridescent glimmers. One afternoon, the royal carriage arrived in Elderwood. Villagers whispered in awe as a tall, regal figure descended. Prince Aldrich, medium dark skin, noble facial features, short, neatly styled black hair, dressed in royal blue and gold, walked with quiet authority. His eyes scanned the village, and he paused at a corner where Elin, carrying a small basket of herbs and petals, had been tending to an elderly villager. Their eyes met. Time seemed to pause for Elin, her chest tightening with both fear and excitement. You must be the prince," she murmured, unsure how to address royalty, yet compelled to speak. Each word carried a delicate sparkle of magic. Petals and tiny gems cascaded softly to the ground, catching sunlight. Prince Aldrich knelt slightly, observing her. "Your kindness precedes you, young one. I've heard tales of your magic," he said, voice calm and warm. "But seeing it is more beautiful than I imagined." Elin's cheeks flushed. I don't know what to say," she whispered, tiny flowers falling from her lips. Her hands twitched and a small ruby rolled into the prince's palm. The prince smiled, a genuine warmth in his eyes. "Then speak freely. I wish to hear every word." Encouraged, Elin spoke of her journey, her mother's harshness, her sister's envy, and the small acts of kindness that had brought her here. With each sentence, petals and jewels drifted delicately in the air. Villagers and even the carriage attendants watched, captivated by the gentle magic unfolding before them. Later, in the royal gardens, Elin's magic continued to flourish. Flowers bloomed instantly where her words touched the soil, and tiny jewels glimmered like morning dew. Citizens gathered, whispering among themselves about the gentle girl whose words could bring beauty to the world. Some bent low to catch a jewel, others sniffed the fragrant petals, all smiling in awe. Prince Aldrich observed from a shaded gazebo, his arms crossed but a soft smile tugging at his lips. He approached Elin, bowing slightly. "Your gift is extraordinary, Elin, but it is your heart, not just the magic, that makes it so," he said. Elin's heart raced. I only did what felt right," she replied, letting a small stream of roses fall gently. She glanced around at the palace garden, realizing the impact of her words. It's more than I ever imagined." The prince reached out his hand, offering guidance and friendship, a partnership built not on power but on mutual respect and admiration. "Then let us walk together, and let your words bring life to more than just jewels and flowers. Let them bring hope." Elin smiled, a warmth spreading through her chest, and nodded. "Yes, together." And so the days in Riverfall Kingdom grew brighter. The palace gardens flourished with magic and care. Citizens came to Elin, bringing their troubles and hopes, and she responded with words that healed hearts, decorated streets with beauty, and created harmony. Myara, finally humbled, no longer hoarded gems but observed her daughter with a mixture of awe and quiet pride, realizing that true wealth was never material. Petals danced around Elin wherever she went, a visual symphony of kindness and magic. And in her quiet moments, she would whisper to herself, "May every word I speak leave the world better than I found it." By the end of the week, the kingdom had come to know the gentle girl whose words carried jewels and blooms. Even Seren, lost in the forest and humbled by her curse, became a distant story, a cautionary tale of envy and pride. As the sun dipped behind the palace towers, painting the sky in hues of orange and violet, Elin stood in the gardens, a trail of soft petals marking her path. She smiled gently, her heart full, and looked toward the horizon. And that's where our story pauses for now. If you enjoyed this magical journey, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Your support keeps the tales alive, and who knows, the next adventure might be even grander.